Band. Is it a group of people playing instruments? Is it a social club? Is it a sport? Or is it even relevant in society at all? Based on the Webster's Dictionary, a band is a group of people who have a common interest or purpose. It also states that a band is a small group of musicians and vocalists who play pop, jazz, or rock music. And it also says a band is a group of musicians who play brass, wind, or percussion instruments. What does all this have in common? To answer this question, you have to refer back to the original definition of the word band, and that is a group of people who have a common interest or purpose. In a band, the common interest and purpose is to perform well and attract fans to your product. While creating your product, the members of a band have the opportunity to meet new people, make new friends, and make new family members while still perfecting your craft as a musician. On the other hand, band has positively influenced the lives of many, but has also been criticized for its hard work and demanding expectations. However, the question still remains, is it worth it? My name is Isaac Williams, and this is a documentary about band.
I started band when I was in middle school, and I've been playing ever since. I really started my second semester of sixth grade, and I've been playing since sixth, and I've been marching band since seventh.
Alright, so I started band in elementary school, and I gained a lot of musical information with it too, friends and stuff like that. How to play my scales and do stuff like that, reading music and all the whole together, and visiting some places. We traveled in the middle school band, like we played at the Georgia, we played at Atlanta Capitol here.
Well, started doing band when I was in middle school. I didn't do it in elementary school, so I kind of missed, I guess, a couple of years of music, but yeah.
So I joined band when I was in 8th grade. And I started off on trumpet, and I wasn't that good at first, but when I was in middle school, I learned how to articulate, like use my tongue to separate the notes and stuff like that. And yeah.
I started a band in elementary school. The programs were good where I'm from. It's an old town, it's an old country town, so a lot of band programs that are good programs start in old country towns. So during those programs, I learned a lot from my band directors. I went through 6 band directors from the time of elementary to high school. So being in those programs at an early age and starting to do something that a lot of people can't do, they taught me, how to be able to approach something without being scared, no matter of how hard or difficult it may be.
The hardest part for me, I think, is time management, because it's like band is really time consuming, so you always gotta be able to juggle band and school and having a social life. You can't always go to every party because you might be in practice or you might have homework, things like that.
I think the hardest part of marching band really is, probably endurance and just staying in shape as far as being able to play, because it's easy to play an instrument because I am a musician, but trying to, stay in shape, being able to, march and play at the same time and make sure the form is correct, because you don't want to, it's always, technique to everything, so you got to be able to do it correctly and also be able to stay in shape. So that's probably the hardest thing about marching band, or even outside stuff, or outside, marching band, outside band stuff, is the fact that you got to, stay in shape because you playing in different conditions.
Hardest part about marching band. The hardest part about marching band is really just, it's not really a hard part about marching band. All you gotta do is just do what you gotta do. Do what's told. When you do, you might become a leader. Lead by example. That's my motto.
Really just trying to breathe and march at the same time. That's probably the hard. Everything else is self-explanatory. nothing else is too hard once you learn how to do it. It all really becomes second nature after a while. But breathing and marching, that just seems like an obstacle that always just that'll always just be in the way. No matter how much air you gain from breathing, how much you gain from how long you've been doing it, that's just gonna always be an obstacle.
One life lesson I took from band, even if you don't like who you working with, you gotta be cordial, or keep that outside the workplace to get everything done that's necessarily that needs to be done.
I don't necessarily have a quote, but the key word really is perseverance. You can get through anything if you just persevere and just keep your mind focused. You can get through anything, and that's one thing that I learned from band. I just applied it to my life.
Well, the one life lesson I learned was to always be on time and to never miss the bus. Yeah.
I learned a lot of lessons because I had a lot of preachy band directors, you know what I'm saying? So I guess if I had to choose one, just work hard at everything you do. Like don't be a quitter. Don't never quit at anything. Like always push through, always finish something strong, and just basically don't quit.
One memory in band will be the time I missed the bus to my first game to Miami, Florida. And I had to legit drive all the way down to Miami because I wasn't on time. So that taught me how to be on time for everything in life, whether it's band, school, work, job, anything. Doesn't matter. Just to be on time.
My first year transferring to, so I was at PWI and then transferring to a HBCU. Marching band, my first year, I fell completely out on the field. And I was hot and it was overheating and we were playing and I was trying to do my best. I had got in trouble the night before and I couldn't sleep. I was sore. So it was like the middle, and I think it was the game before homecoming. And it was all the bros from KK Psi came back and they had just met me. And that night at the daggone game, I fell out on the field and nobody stopped. When they say nobody stops, nobody stopped to help me out. And then I finally woke up at the end of the field show and I got up and, rolled my way off of the field. So that was the best, the biggest memory I have.
One memory I would say was my junior year in high school when we were in the Pasadena Rose Bowl and we were the lead band after the Marine band. And that was because, I'd never been to Cali before. So that was a great experience for me because, I went with my friends and, we still went sightseeing. We did a lot of all those things.
All right, so I'm gonna say one in high school, one in college. So the first one in high school, we went on a trip in Orlando. And we was coming back from the BCU FAMU homecoming game. So we was coming back from that. We was leaving it, and we was all on the bus. We was on our way to Dave and Buster's. And like the bus I was on, I think it was like sophomores, juniors, seniors, and the band directors. The whole bus just started roasting everybody. And it just got to a point where it was 3 or 2 people doing all the roasting, and they was roasting every single person, including the band directors. It was the funniest thing ever. That was the funniest thing. And then, second favorite memory in college, probably going to Miami for the first time. Out of all the places in Florida I've been, that's the only place I've never been. So going to Miami for the first time was pretty cool. That's probably my favorite memory.
Absolutely. Because it's like anything worth being a part of or doing isn't gonna come easy. And if it is easy, it's probably not even worth it.
It is definitely worth it because at the end of the day, you learning and you gaining so much more than you are losing. I mean, it's very time consuming, but it's worth it, especially if you love music. like, you really gonna enjoy doing what you do in a band program?
I'll say yes, because it is good in the long run. Even though you gotta go to practice all the time, you know, you gotta play the same music over and over again. But once everybody's on the same page, you know, it's actually worth it hearing the end results of what the band can do at its finest.
I would say it is, because it's worth it when you have to go to college, because then you know you can audition and get scholarships, and you might end up not even have to pay that much for college, or not having to pay for college at all, because what you've learned middle through high school or elementary through high school will get you some money, or your whole school pay for in college.
Yeah, of course. In my honest opinion, you can do anything else. Do whatever you want, by my honest opinion. You want to be part of a hard-working group, somebody who does something all the time, like, man, I don't know, just being in bands has made me a whole better person. It shaped who I am. It made me think more. It made me think outside of perspective and think outside of just originality. It made, let me not say forced me to be different, but it showed me how to be different. So I really appreciate band for that. But yeah, it's worth it.
It really is. Everything that you go through, when you sit back and think about it, I think about even high school and middle school and elementary. When you sit back and you realize everything you've been through, as far as learning time management, learning how to deal with people popping off at you, how to deal with confrontation, and how to deal with everybody, different emotions. It's all worth it, because when you get on that field and those lights hit you and you're doing something that you love to do, that you have a passion for, the tears that come across your face because of your first performance, or the jokes and the laughs that come off from the bus ride, it is all worth it. Through the networking, through learning people, through meeting new people, through trips, through money, everything is worth it, because there's always a new experience happening with band.
In the end, when the performance is done, the music is made, the product has been shown, and the crowd disperses, we all come to realize one general thing, and that is band is deeper than what meets the eye. Whether you're in band, not in band, were in band, or don't even care to be in band, it's a craft that we all come to realize is not for everyone, but it does prepare you for everything. This has been a band documentary by Isaac Williams.